Bottom line.
They might not be the right
They take all the stuff.
It depends if we're not in our feelings about the situation. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, because men try to act like it, but when men are in their feelings about something, we're long-winded. Or no, it's not that we're long-winded. The conversation never ends. Like, we'll say it, we'll walk away,
come back,
and be like, and I can't believe you just did that. That's me. I'm gonna be honest with you, because if I talk, you're not gonna like what I say.
It was, and that's what listen. That's what I just put it back on because this is good.
You're not gonna like what I say.
Exactly.
But in fairness to both parties, and this is what she and I talk about all the time. Whether relationships, friendships, working relationships, you two gotta be able to. And I'm not saying constructive criticism, but your point shouldn't be the only one that matters. You gotta be able to receive just as much as you give. You know what I'm saying?
When it comes to like taking yourself out of the center of the circle, so you sometimes like, you know how people always feel like, oh, they're shooting at me, I'm taking it personal.
Yep.
Like, you don't necessarily have to take it personally. Just take yourself out of the center of the circle and find out what is this person saying and why they feel that way. So it's kind of like, because a lot of people don't do that.
And,
they don't remove themselves.
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
Take the emotion.
Take the emotion out.
Yeah, take yourself out.
And that's what I told Tiff. If this was somebody else you was giving advice, would you tell them that?
Yeah.
And if you wouldn't say that, then get out your feelings, yo. Like, seriously.
See, my problem is, I don't feel like I have to, 2017 was my year of like, no, get out your feelings. Like, nobody cares how you feel. But then I realized, because I babysit kids, like I watch a lot, so I do a lot of things. I hands on a lot of props, and I realized my response to other people sometimes, they're like, how did you just tell me that? And I'm like, figure it out. Like, you know.
Figure it out.
Like, I babysat he's 11 years old, and he sat down with me the other day, and basically how I dealt with him, because I was like, I just learned how to speak to people. But then I realized with him, he said to me the other day, and he created this whole story, and he basically was like, well, would you consider... He set it up like, because he's really creative. So he just set it up like this guy, his dad was in the castle, he was taking care of him. And he was like, well, how would you feel if nobody pays attention to this boy? The dad is there, he's gone, all his parents don't care about him. And the only person that takes notice or cares about them is the slave. Clearly I'm the slave, because
I'm done.
But the whole thing is you're 11 years old, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, what is, you know what I'm saying? But I'm the only person that takes notice to you. You notice that 11 years old. So clearly, however I'm speaking to you is making that impact. So I'm not, being out of my feelings and just trying to deal with him, because I can get, like, there's times where I have to, like, walk away. Because I'm ready to go off, but it's just like, I'm realizing, with me, I guess not knowing how to speak to people, it almost helps. So it's like just getting out your feelings and not always work, well, am I hurting their feelings? Are you really okay with what I
See, now that's me.
And it's okay with telling the
that's
truth
me.
sometimes, because people need that.
That's me.
Going on and nobody wants to hear that.
But and I'm gonna be honest with you, my biggest downfall, I'm just gonna be honest with you, my biggest downfall is I care too much.
Me too.
And every time I care too much, and that's where that emotional part comes in. I care so much, it's like, okay, you know what?
Too, but
right. You can say whatever you want to say to anybody. It's just how you deliver it.
Yeah, I mean,
He just lied and said he cares too.
I don't care about people's feelings.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
I don't care about people's feelings who don't care about mine.
Now that's something different. When you
don't mistake my kindness for weakness.
Now that's what I'm with too. But at the end of the day, there's some people, I'm not trying to be funny, you just have to check them because they think they can come at you any old way, and then you just have to nip that in the bud. I'm with that. But
you're worried about anybody else's feelings and you suppress yourself.
Right.
You're always going to be aggravated.
That's been my life. I've been doing it since I was a kid. Is just trying to make.
And then taking it out on the wrong people.
Who do I take it out on?
The people who are close to you. It's kind of like who. Oh no, because I don't even deal with that.
No, he doesn't.
I don't deal with that.
He doesn't.
Nope.
He doesn't entertain.
But she does try to, and I'm like, yo, for real, wrong person.
He doesn't even give me leeway because I'll try to do it in a sense where I'm trying to explain myself, but it's almost as if I'm going in too much, and he's like, okay, Tiff, really story time. Do you have to bring? Because I'm trying to give the broad picture. There we see.
You just co-signed. No, I mean, it's cool. No, absolutely not. Yo, we all live.
Gabrielle.
Look, how you doing, Gabrielle?
Yo, listen, I'm not trying to be funny. Am I wrong? Y'all know what I'm talking
See,
about.
look at her.
Y'all say hello.
Jesus Christ.
103.9, we're here. We're doing a great thing. They're spreading what is Make Me Matter.
Making Me
awesome,
Matter.
Awesome new organization, is it? Or is it
Yes,
a show? I'm not
it's
sure,
a
but I'm
show.
excited about it. I want to be down. I want to get in with the mix and everything like that. So, guys, make sure you tune in and join us. Yes.
We are so excited. We're talking about feelings and emotions and stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be funny. So our feelings, if they're right, if they're done with the right motive, they are valid. And this is the look that I get all the time. But at the end of the day, sometimes you do need to go into explaining because you want people to.
Get tired of hearing your voice sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I do. But I was trying to explain my point. See? There it is. I'm trying to explain my point. As he just covers his ears and just does what he does.
Now, where
Janine, I see you. How's everybody doing? Are y'all on? What's going
I'm a
on?
Jersey dude.
Hey, Lena Dina. What's up, Lena Dina? Larry, I see you. Thank you, Al, for being on. I so appreciate you for coming on. Hey, Jackie. Look, Shantae, let me tell you something.
My
Am
nephew played with him at
Sometimes we
Lindy.
just get in our feelings. It is what it is. You know what
Did
I'm
he?
saying? But
Honestly,
we
since-
try to.
since he left
It's because we're
Linden-
trying to express ourselves. And a lot of
Lance
times
Howard, tell
people,
him
when we try to
Okay.
express ourselves,
Clayton,
sometimes people
tell
don't
Clayton's nephew.
understand that it's not like we're trying to be evil and trying to do all this other stuff. We're just trying to get our point across so that we can be understood. That's the word that I'm trying to say. So we can be understood. At the end of the day, we women can be misunderstood by men. And they think that we're long-winded
Just
and
tell
all
him
that
Clayton,
other stuff. So
Clayton's nephew.
it is what
At
it
that
is.
time, I was
Yeah, that's good
assistant
combo.
over there.
I'm
Right before
good,
the
sweet
assist, but,
thing.
you know,
How are you
my nephew was
doing?
linebacker, so that's basically who I worked with.
Lena Dina?
And then I went and got a
It's because you know what, this is the part of making me matter that we talk about. The importance of making me matter is learning how to communicate. Lord knows I need to learn how to communicate every day.
Like I said,
How about that?
Clayton's uncle. And it's funny, my nephew wanted to plug him
Oh,
right
did
after that
Miss
too.
Toya walk out? She did. Very sick today. I was going ahead.
What led you to Temple?
My life 100% has been like divine. Like, or
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are blessed, sweet thing, beyond measure. It is. You're right. Joy. Joy, I keep forgetting that you changed your name to Janine. So I'm like, Janine, but it's Joy. You're my joy. What was I going to say to you? Yeah. At the end of the day, it's we've all been through a lot. We've all been through a lot. And sometimes based on how we the things that we've gone through will determine if we feel like expressing or if we just shut down. You know what I'm saying? So.
And then the only reason I applied to St. John's University is because it came to my school and they were offering scholarships, and I grew up doing the scholarships. So I went to that, but the only school that I applied to was Temple, and that's where I went.
My cousin graduated St. John's. The one in LIU? I mean, the one in Long Island?
Yeah.
My cousin, not LIU.
We're on Temple.
Oh,
Yeah, no, but I
sorry.
went to Temple. I was telling him that I ended up getting a scholarship.
See, that's what happens when you in there and then trying to jump back
Jump
over
back in
here.
the house.
So why don't you jump back over to Facebook Live
But,
and you had that convo. But no,
See
I mean,
how, and
my,
this
my
is
daughter went
every
to,
day.
she wanted to go to a visit. My youngest one wants to go to a visit there. But my oldest, she should be able to walk into any. She's got a 4.5. So I was like, I didn't even know they created 4.5s. But she has those AP classes and stuff like that. Yeah.
What y'all doing today? Y'all not in church?
Yep.
Wait, y'all not in church? Where y'all
Now, how old are
at?
you, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. You seem like you got your head on right for 26 years old. 26 years old, that was beyond wild.
Ray? Hi, Ray Day. Ray, where you at?
You know what? And that's,
Where
I
are
just
you?
said that
Girl,
to someone. Like, people
you
forget.
ain't lying.
People, like,
He-
they want to quote the words. And
Lance
I'm like,
missed his call, and
you
he's a
must
comedian.
forget that Moses didn't
Missed
know
his
what the heck he was supposed to be doing
complete
until he was
call.
80-some years old.
Moses was watching sheep like this and seeing the bush burning was like, hold up.
Yeah. He didn't even recognize the voice of God at first.
And then Moses...
That's good, Ray.
told
Ray, how's your
Moses
morning
told
starting
God,
off?
I don't want to speak.
Exactly.
I
You know,
don't do it.
give me.
I can't speak.
I can't speak.
I'm
Give me
supposed to
someone.
speak.
Right.
But
He
yet,
called somebody else.
but yet, and still, it took
Right.
him
He called.
when he was 80 years old to finally say, "Oh God, this is what I'm supposed to be doing."
And taking it out of biblical terms, let's talk about Morgan Freeman, who was 50-something before he got his first acting job. Like, 53, exactly.
Exactly.
So, and then it's all these people, so people look, and this is
You know what's crazy? I knew he was older. I didn't know he was 53 years old.
When he,
That's crazy, and that's one of the best actors. You know what? Somebody just told me Denzel's story the other day, and I read up on it, and I was like, wow.
Ray, I can only imagine.
What happened
how your
was
night
there was a woman that was in a beauty parlor
That's what
that his
happened.
mother was working in or something.
I can only imagine.
And she
how your
kept
night
staring
was,
at him
Ray.
in the mirror when he was walking past, like cleaning up. And she said,
You gotta
somebody
catch
give me
me
a
up
piece of
on your-
paper.
your
And
night
she wrote
on
something
Monday.
down. And when she wrote down for him, she said, young man, come here.
Man, God
She
is
said,
so
I don't know
good,
where or
man.
how or what platform,
God is just
but the
amazing.
Lord told me that you were going to touch people and people
And
across
you know
the
I
world
start
were gonna know
crying.
your
You know I
name.
cry
And
in
she
a
gave him the
heartbeat.
paper. He said he still
I'm
carries
just
that
so
piece of
full and
paper.
so grateful to God. You have no idea.
Oh, I can do it. Good morning. Did you hear me? Rodina? Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. When I saw that it was you were still registering, so I said, let me call and see if she wants to call in and talk about it.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. And I was telling Reverend Elaine about it, so she definitely sends a heartfelt thank you.
Oh, good. So we'll talk about it during the week too, and then you just
Okay.
tell us where to stop, and we'll do it next Sunday because we got, I think, 2 Sundays before, right? Yeah, 2 Sundays.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we do, because then we leave the following Thursday. So
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, yeah, great. So, all right, it's Radio 103.9, Toya Beasley here, Inspire You. Good morning. On the phone with me is the most beautiful, this lady is beautiful inside out. I just love her to pieces. She is the Director of Communications at Greater Allen Cathedral, and she is the one and only Rodina Stevens. Rodina,
Hi.
how are you?
How are you? I'm good. Thank you. I'm at church. I got a little distracted, but I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much.
So listen, Women's Season, the conference,
Yes.
May.
I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited too. May 4th through the 6th, and I am a witness. Ladies who are listening, you want to attend. If you are not registered, you want to get on it, and Rodina's here to share about the conference.
Yes, well, thank you again. May 4th through 6th, we're going to be at the Sheraton Hotel in Stamford, Connecticut, and we leave on Thursday, and we have some amazing, some dynamic women preachers, and I'll just quickly go through who they are. We have Bishop Wilson Hunter, Reverend Cynthia Hale, Reverend Antoinette Alvarado, Reverend Renita Wings, Bishop Cynthia James, Carolyn Showell, Claudette Copeland, Sister Carla Harris, Reverend Debbie Turner Bell, just so many, Reverend Melissa Fallow, Reverend Rita Tim. So it's going to be a really great time. We have at least 8 worship services, and one of them is actually a plenary Bible session, which is taught by Reverend Rita Weems, and then we have workshops on Thursday, we have workshops all day Friday, workshops all day Saturday, plus a closing worship service. So it is an amazing weekend and worship experience. So we just really encourage everyone to register. There is definitely still time. And Connecticut is not that far from the city, so you can get there at no time.
Yeah, it's not far at all. And that's 3 days of dynamic workshops and worship services. I've been there many, many years. For years I've been going, and I promise you, we always hear that, you will not leave the same, and that is the truth. That is real. It is really the truth when it comes to Greater Allen Cathedral Women's Conference. And tell them how they can register, Rodina.
Okay, so a few ways. You can register online. The website, the conference website is www.gacwomen.org. So it's again, www.gacwomen.org, and the conference registration page is there. It shows you the list of workshops that we have. You get to choose workshops. And the price includes all of the worship services, all of the workshops, the conference materials, as well as, I believe it's 2 meals. You get a conference t-shirt, all materials, so that's how you can do it. Just go to gacwomen.org and then follow the prompts there to register.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for allowing me to call in and talk about the Women's Conference.
Anytime.
Hosted by Reverend Elaine Flake.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Thanks. All right, Rodina.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay, bye. That is great. We can make her we can put her down at the bottom. She could be my last personality break in the hour. Because I don't think you'll make it for now.
What, 15?
Yeah. No. What time is it? Oh, you think so?
So I said, let me call and see if she
Appreciate it, and I was
too. And then you just tell us when to stop, and we'll do it next Sunday.
Thursday.
Okay, yeah, great. So, all right, it's Radio 10. It's Radio 103.9. Toya Beasley
So
here.
what did they
Inspire
say?
you. Good morning. On the phone with me.
They're loving it. I did a 3-part. Now I'm just gonna run this one out, and it's. Let me tell you, yeah, they are just they love it. They are so excited, and they're just loving it. And I'm.
So on the series, we don't get to see him. Facebook Live.
On the series, he actually, I have him on.
I don't like him.
Oh, you rolled your eyes real hard with Facebook Live. He's so mean.
You know what? But I'm gonna tell you, if you are gonna do Facebook Live, get to the point.
Yeah.
You ever tune into somebody, they fixing their eyelashes, they putting their makeup on, and you wait.
Right.
Or you sit
Right.
up in there
Are you
and
streaming right now?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm not
We
gonna
don't
say
get.
that.
We don't say now.
I'm
I'm doing everything, cleaning the house, fixing the baby, doing all this, and we're waiting for the content.
this is what I'm eating.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
care about what
Right.
you're eating.
Right.
When you first log on to hers, you sitting there waiting for her like this.
She is the one and only.
Well, shit, yeah.
But 5-10 minutes and then she'll get into it.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch it too.
I
I come
love
into
it.
the meet. Yeah.
And she take a little while because that's what it's like, come on, girl. You know that you knew what you was doing before you got here.
Yeah.
The time you
I
was
just
say that
see
again,
our
yo.
time,
You know what
our
you was
time
doing.
is just very precious. We don't have time.
Miss Toya, Bishop says hi. He said, tell her I said hello. I will. Bishop get.
I have to do it if you want to.
That's so fresh.
communications at Greater Allen Cathedral. She is the one and only
If she-
Medina Stevens.
You want to cut some of that stuff?
How are you? I'm good, thank you.
You just do it. I can do a live.
He's.
Yeah, they get on there, and that's, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
No, he's going.
Let's
He
get to the
texted.
point.
He's going to
Let's just do it because who wants to stay on Facebook Live for 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes?
Right. Right. Like, even, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Who you are.
Right. When I go on my lives, I'm ready. You know, and I just wait for like a couple of people to jump on, and then I'm like, okay, so this is what
That's
happened.
the thing. Do you really have something to say, or are you waiting for everybody to come in? So you have to have that audience.
No, I'm gonna start.
Because you're just going to get on there and just talk, and when they get there, they get there.
Well, you're right. You're right about that. You're right.
It replays. If they missed something in the beginning, you can always go back and watch
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
You're
Don't
right.
ever wait for us.
You're right.
You start right when you want to start.
That's right.
You got something to say?
Just like a job, be on time.
If you
If
got
you
there,
stay 8 o'clock, come on, let's start at 8.
Let's start it at 8. You're right.
same way when you go to church, do they wait till you get there and seats fill up? No. You missed this half the service.
Depends what church, though. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what?
Anybody out there?
Yeah, no, that's the truth. Some churches will. They'll be like, yeah, we gotta make for. Yeah,
All right, we can come out and start now. You're not lying.
we gotta wait for them seats to fill up a little bit more now.
Maybe because I'm always late for church. I just show my skin. That's why I'm always, I try to get there, but I'm like, no, they always start.
I got to open up service, so I'm like, oh well.
Yeah.
Community Church of Christ in Cliffwood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, my brother-in-law is a pastor in the church.
Incredible. Miss Toya, when I tell you the spirit of
Down there by.
You know what Cheesequake Park is?
Yes, I know.
Right off that exit. Mm-hmm.
the spirit
It's a
is
small-
just incredible.
See, me, this is just me personally. I prefer small churches. And that's what it is. It's a small, but, you know, we real big in worship. You know?
And the word.
Yeah, really.
When I tell you,
And I grew up Catholic. That's what's
it's
so funny.
incredible.
I grew up Catholic.
My family's Episcopalian. I left them.
Where,
I used to go to Episcopalian. When I was growing up, like if I couldn't make it to my church, I would walk down the street to the Episcopalian church.
And go right on.
That's it.
my granddaddy, but see, my grandfather,
Stay in
I need
church.
to get into the. I can't.
yeah.
Yeah, I grew into that.
See, I didn't know better. My grandfather was an apostolic, pastor. So growing up Catholic, when we used to see people catch the Holy Ghost, I was like, oh, absolutely not. No, I'm dead serious. It took a while, like when they wanted to lay, I'm like, because like that's not happening to me. And honestly,
Lay their hands on you?
like when they lay hands, you know, praying for you and stuff, and you see people catch the Holy Ghost and start speaking in tongues. So the first time I saw it, when it happened to my sister, who's first lady of our church right now, it happened to my sister. She has to be about 13 years old. And when she caught the Holy Ghost, I said, oh, holy no. No. I'm serious. So I was like, I'll go to church, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was going for the females. I was like, let me go check out. Listen, I was young. I'm like, and she can sing? Oh, Jesus. So I was getting with, you know, for that. But as I got older, and, you know, the Lord started really dealing with me, funniest story ever. My brother-in-law, they were looking for a pastor of a church. So it was different churches that would have him come in and preach. And when he went to the church, I would go with him sometimes. And I remember I had my head down. He was telling, you know, like, let's worship, you know, da-da-da. This guy pulled me out in the middle of it. So I stopped praying. I said, look, bro, don't play. Like you know, I'm not doing that. He's like, all right, you know, just do it. I'm doing what God told me to do. Keep praying, da-da-da. Yo, the Spirit hit me, and I fell out. Speaking in tongues, and after that, I was like, this is at Freehold. This is at Freehold Church. They were looking for a pastor. And it's part of, you know, Church of Our Lord. You know, but one thing, I will say this about my brother-in-law, and it's not because he's my brother-in-law, because we didn't get along, you know, because he was marrying my older sister. He don't have no respect of, like, persons, or, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, we're apostolic, but we will fellowship with Pentecostal. You know what I'm saying? We'll fellowship with different churches. As long as you coming out that word, you coming out that Bible. So that's one thing I respect about it. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, a lot of apostolic churches, well, we are apostolic, but he's not going to be like, no, a woman can't sit up in the pulpit with me. He's not like that. You know, a lot of apostolic churches, that's how it is. You know, a woman can, you know, come forth with the word, but they got to come from the little, or what's those things? Yeah. Or if they're going to be in the pulpit, you know, a lot of the pastors will come out the pulpit.
You know what?
He's not like that.
But you know what's so unfortunate, and you can scale it back.
What's the name of his church?
The Community Church of Christ in Cliffwood. That's okay.
I feel like what's so unfortunate is the fact that that's why so many people don't come to the church, because there's too many rules, bylaws, regulations, protocols. I've always been somebody that you can have your protocol all you want. I don't do protocol. Like, I've never been somebody who do protocol. And not to say that you don't respect order, because I do, but sometimes I feel like it's too much protocol, so people can't even get to the water or the well if they need to, because there's so many obstacles in between. And I feel like that kind of was taken.
Yeah.
So that's what ultimately happened to me. Like, I went to Catholic school. I begged my mother to get out of Catholic school. I went to public school.
Now y'all were Catholic too?
No.
Oh, you just went to school. Okay.
They just sent me to private school. That's what they knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through my own thing. Like, I didn't want to go to church with nobody. I wanted to find my own. Like, I knew what I wanted out of a church or something like that. I didn't find it because of what my parents were feeding me, ultimately. So what I ultimately found was that why I was so turned off. I was turned off by religion, not Christ, because I know at the end of the day, even in Catholic school and even in the Episcopal, you're trying to tell me when to bow, when to pray, how to pray. I gotta tell you my sins because who are you? So how you get a delight line of Jesus and I don't? Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
That's why my mother mad at me now.
And it's different, and I feel like that's...
Is she still Catholic?
My mother and my sister. Because I said I don't believe in me telling no man.
What I did yesterday,
we're in the word to say praying to Mary. I'm like, no, like I'm not doing that. Only in high school I used to continue to want to be Catholic because, you know, certain days we got out early to fake like we was going. Like, you going to Ash Wednesday? I'm like, yeah, I'm going. I got to tell the truth. We sit there and take cigarette butts and put them in water and put them on us, and we was like, yeah, we went to church. No, we ain't go to nobody's church.
You know what?
I'm just being honest,
How
yo.
many sisters do you have?
3.
3 sisters.
Mhm.
You're the only?
No, 3 boys, 3 girls.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And so is everybody Catholic or just your mom and your one sister?
My mom and one sister.
Everybody else is apostolic or?
Apostolic Pentecostal.
Okay.
And my sister's first lady of the
Does your
church.
mom ever go to your sister's church?
All the time. Matter of fact, when I had to preach a couple weeks ago, she came. So she's not like that. She's not closed-minded, you know, to the point where, like, and she believes in a lot of stuff we believe in. You know, some people it's just comfort.
I was gonna say it's hard to break people.
Yeah, it's comfort. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is when you talk to my mother, she know the word. She know the word, and she'll sit there and talk about things that, you know, she knows, you know, and I'm like, well, because we don't argue about it. I'm a clown. So it's just I'm always, you know, clowning her and stuff like that. She'll say something to me and I'll be like, you know, messing with her. And she's like, you know, I'm like, but why is that though? And she'll tell me, she tells me why she goes. So, you know, but every time we have something at the church, my mother's there and my sister even comes. You know what I mean? We don't, nobody pass no judgment and stuff. It's
that's
just,
how you get people to start crossing over.
and see, that's what you just touched on right there. And I think that's, first of all, the enemy sows, you know, seeds of divisiveness. You know what I'm saying? Divisive tactics. So that's the thing. When, you know, I do believe things should always be done in decency and order. But at the same time, when it gets, you know, Matt, like I said, when I preach, that's part of what I preached about. You worried about who coming in church with pants on. You worried about who not covering their head. Like, you know what I'm saying? First of all, not even just that though. Spread the word of God.
Right.
And allow Him to minister to their hearts.
Right.
Because we, you know, like I told people, sometimes I think we forget. Some of us think we've been saved all our lives.
Right.
Or we don't sit there and still battle with stuff being saved.
But you know what? The more you get in a relationship, that one-on-one relationship with Christ, those things that the world or the other deep saints look at or judge you by, those things start to fall off. But you got there on your own. It's not because of their noise.
Exactly.
It's because the closer you go to Christ, if you are, I'm just going to use this, a smoker, you don't start, he starts aiming that it's you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's your relationship. And I don't even want to say, forget that. Lying. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that thing is.
I will testify for y'all, right? So a year ago, what is this? We're in
2017.
No, but we're in May. April. We're about to be in May. A year ago, today, all right, I joined PFC in February. Last year, 2016. So February was the time that I joined.
And what's that? That's a church?
Perfectly Faith. So I started that church February. One of my close friends, we actually don't speak anymore. She was the one that was just like, come to church with me. Because at that time, I was looking for a church. All right, so I go to church with her. Once I walked in that sanctuary, I go there religiously every single Sunday. When I tell you, stop, cuss you out, I cuss you out. Don't cuss.
You look like one too.
I will cuss you out.
You look like, she looks like one that be like, and then be like this.
Yup, and what?
Yep.
You want to fight? Let's go outside.
See?
I was the smallest one in the group.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, smallest one in the group, but I'll take you outside.
I'm good at reading people.
Take you outside so quick. I will take you outside so quick. I don't want to talk about nothing. You want to fight? Let's go. I'm just waiting for you to swing first. Waiting for you to swing first. I don't want to fight. I don't want nobody. All right, going around doing whatever I want to, smoking, drinking, all. That's what I was.
But you had to get there on your own. Nobody could tell you.
And nobody could, because the other side about it is, until I came out from what I was doing, I was just like, oh. Me? And then the other side about it is what I have to say. So when I see people going through it and stuff like that, God had to reveal me to myself. He had to open my eyes and say, look, baby girl.
And you gotta get that same grace.
And that's what people do not do. You forgot that you got sat down and He cleaned you up.
Right.
I didn't come out here all holy sanctified. And that's when I come and I tell people, like, just come drink from this well, because you will see. My friend told me that
taste and see.
He don't want to go to church. He don't want to. But he said it to me out of his mouth the other day, because I lost my job. I was forced to resign from my job. I was a legislative aide. Me and my boss did not get along. Like, she's old enough to be my mother, ended up turning on me. Like, she rolled up on me in the street one day, told me to shut up. If you want to go ahead, put your resume in, go ahead, bye. And it took a toll on me. I was unemployed for 6 months. I never missed a bill, and I wasn't prepared to resign either. Didn't miss a bill. My bills were always paid. I always had extra spending money. Gas always in my tank. If you needed something, I was still able to give. And then I still gave my tithe and my offering every week. I had a man sit in front of me, because I'm working on a project called Not Quite Qualified, and it's kind of like, God calls us, God qualifies us, and it's not the society to tell us who we are. And what happens is we give society too much power into determining or defining who we are and where we're going. And people ultimately get lost in the shuffle kind of thing, because life don't care about you.
Right.
It don't care about you. It's designed to help, to fail, for you to fail. And the other side about it is you have to qualify. You have to realize that whatever is in you, whatever God put within you, is what you're supposed to come and do. If you have breath in your body, you still have a purpose. You just have to find your passion.
Right.
And a lot of people get so distracted from that. So the whole thing with Not Quite Qualified for me was, so many people along the way have told me what I couldn't do. So anytime I stepped up and said, oh, I wanted to do this, or I wanted to do this, it was always the people that I wanted to give me the support, or those words of encouragement that didn't. And it's like I had to decide for myself, like, oh, I can do this. Because I had a man sit across from my face today. Because now I'm an assistant store manager. I'm making more money than I would in retail than I would corporately kind of a situation. I'm making more money than my friends with their master's degree. And the same day that I got the interview for the job, a man sat across from me when I told him about my dream, the not quite qualified, I showed him my resume. He sat across from me and told me, well, from the looks of it, you're not qualified to do anything that's on your resume. I would never hire you. And now I'm making more money than I would have at 26 years old than most of my peers. And then on top of that, I'm not even somewhere where people ultimately with, but I'm in a management position. I'm building people. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that you have to realize that if I would have let that man speak into my life, you know what I'm saying? I would have been back at the drawing board saying what I couldn't do. But
what are you doing?
So I'm an assistant store manager at Build-A-Bear. So it's fine. I'm with kids all day. I build bears, but so I'm in charge of ultimately. So the only person that's above me in my store is the store manager, and she ultimately is like so spread thin. So she's like, your job is to really just go and lead and build up my team because there's no communication and there's not really a lot of things going on. But you can ultimately, you also see the shift in things when I came, because I came in the door and people like, oh, I don't like her. And it's like, you don't like me because I'm coming in with a different, I don't play around. Like, I like.
We have to be quiet.
Okay. Because I don't need you for this break, so you don't have to.
We can still talk.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not opening mics.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, so now I'm assistant store manager. They're looking at giving me my own store in 6 months to be a store manager.
Stuff.
So it's like, awesome. Yeah, and then like in the city at that. So it's like,
what else do you want to do?
So ultimately, what I want to do. So I don't know like the end result of everything what I do, but in my
you don't have to know that.
Yeah, my near sight, what I do want to do is I really need to work on my brand and my blog, the not quite qualified thing. I really want to pull together like that. I'm also doing communication strategy, so I work with
not quite qualified.
Not quite qualified. Yeah.
What that is.
So not quite qualified is pretty much it started off as an idea for my blog, which is now pretty much branching off into like a brand, which pretty much just represents the millennials and how we are ultimately always told what we can't do, shouldn't do, we're ungrateful, that we're entitled and things like that. And what happens is the millennial generation is a generation that's about their passion. And if we can't connect and tie into whatever it is that you're trying to sell us, we can't do it. So not quite qualified is almost telling society just, all right, you may not think that I'm qualified to do this, but watch me work. So that's ultimately where it comes from. And it also always goes back to, it's more of a personal dig for myself because like I was saying before, I've sat in so many people's faces and had so many people tell me what I could not do.
I think qualification now is like not such a great word anymore.
No, and that's why it's a play on words.
It's kind of like what is qualified.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's play on words because at the end of the day, even taking it a step further, it's God that calls the that qualifies us.
Right.
So who is society or man to tell me anything of what I can and cannot do?
Can I tap into that for a second?
Sure.
It's funny that you said that because when we were speaking earlier and you were talking about why people, sometimes don't go to churches and certain things like that. So I was talking to someone the other day, and I actually was, during my fast, I was actually talking to God about this. Of course we know we are, and we hear it all the time, but it's true. You see it. We are in some of the last days. Mm-hmm. But the problem is people think, going to what you said earlier, people think degrees and paper is what makes them qualified. Mm-hmm. And this is what happens with a lot of quote-unquote pastors or so-called leaders of churches. They get their theology degrees and this, that, and other. But I find there's a difference between being spiritually filled and filled with just knowledge that you get. Yeah, because a lot of people get their degrees and a lot of people, this, that, and other. But if it ain't God that called you to do that, if it's not, you're not qualified by God. If it's not you, then and it's funny because I go back to
chosen profession.
Exactly. I go back to the Bible, and like one of my names on a group chat I have is just like Paul. Because y'all looked at Paul and he was like, he's a murderer. Mm-hmm. And he was. But when God called him on the road to Damascus, it ain't nothing that when Peter and them stood before you read the word, he telling Peter like, yo, you walked with Jesus. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. You walked with Jesus, and you sit here in front of these Gentiles, and you're a hypocrite, and you falling short. But because of the fact that I was a murderer, because of the fact that I had to appear before Nero, and I was this type of individual, I can appreciate now that I'm on this side of the tracks, knowing what God called me to do. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And adding to your point where it says the God will use the donkeys.
Exactly.
The foolish
Exactly.
things to shame the wise.
To shame, to confound the wise.
Because a lot of people sit there and they think that because I have this degree or because I'm smarter than you and I'm just. And
I went to school for the and I got my theology degree and
So this is the joke, right? So my mom.
You should be a guest on one of your.
You really should. We're gonna have to make something happen.
Already there.
So I'm gonna tell y'all the joke though. So my mom has been pushing for me to go back and get my master's in my law because I wanted to go to law school. That's where I wanted to go. It's still in my heart. This is where I want to go. And what ends up happening, no lie, every single time I set my path to go, I'm going back to school and start studying, I lose a job, my life gets rearranged, something happened. Like, so I always end up off the track of going where I thought I was supposed to be, and I end up in a completely different direction. So the first time that happened, I got fired. I was a human resource coordinator straight out of school. I did not want to be there. I hated it. I walked into that job every day for a month before they fired me, saying, I can't wait till they fire me. So the day they fired me, and I told that lady, all right, bye guys, you guys be blessed. I'll be here on Thursday, pick up my check. Looked at me like I had 16 heads because she was like, I'm firing you. And I was like, thank you. Like,
Right.
I was waiting for this. So then that 6 months period is when I came up with the not quite qualified idea. And in that spiel and everything like that, no, it's fine. So what ended up happening through that was oh, he got me. But so yeah, during that time or whatever, so then I decided I'm gonna start studying for masters. I'm gonna go back and do that, whatever situation is. So I was studying, I was going back, ended up. So this is 6 months late. I think it was 6 months again. And then I started bartending. I might have bartended 2 events, and I met the legislator in my area. So the legislator was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Blah blah blah. You know, send me a writing sample. You know, we'll talk." She hired me on the spot like that. I wrote her it was like she was trying to roll out mental health first aid classes or something like that. So I wrote something out for her, like the press release or whatever, like the informative stuff, and she hired me like that. So I ended up getting slid in the back door of Nassau County Legislature. So I was in politics for a little while doing campaigns and stuff like that. And then ended up resigning from her. I was forced to resign ultimately because we didn't get along anymore. And then I want to say 3 weeks after that, I ended up running a judge's campaign out there in Nassau County. So that was fun. And then after that, I ended up working randomly for this guy who needed help setting up his business administratively. So I went there for him. I worked for him for about a month. Then I ended up babysitting these kids. I ended up working with the botanist, helping her with her different things. And then I ended up being the assistant store manager. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So when God kind of moves your path around and going back to my mother was, you need to go to school, you need to go to school. I'm making more money than my friends are with their degrees. So it's like, I have my one degree, let me just rock for a little bit, let me figure out what's going on, and then just continuing. But it's so that mindset that goes, unless you have these things, these material things, you're not worth it, you're not worth my time of day.
Right.
I don't want to look at you and stuff like that.
Do you have family down south?
Yeah. Me talking? Is that why you're listening?
No,
Oh, okay.
because that's where you're gonna wind up.
Down south?
No, you are. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
You
Where I'm not
you know any evangelists?
No.
You gonna wind up down south.
Yeah. This is maybe here.
Okay, so ultimately, you told me. Tell me about the blog you want to.
Okay, so not quite qualified is pretty much it. What I want it
I
to
know
be
what it is, but what
yeah.
do you want to do with it?
So what I want it to be is a platform or a network where people within the age range of like 18 to 35-ish, but not really limiting to them because I feel like anybody can pull from it, but really a place where we can all come together and pretty much just tell our testimonies, tell our stories, how we got there, encourage one another. So almost like inspiration and motivational pieces. So I do want to do like things like this. So if we have like a conversation, like roundtable discussion,
Like
I want to have
be considered for a panelist or
Like an open forum.
What do you want to do with this?
With Making Me Matter?
Yeah.
I definitely want it to go. My goal is to do radio and then possibly have a TV show. I would love to see this on TV. Right now, I keep saying I'm going to put an event together. I've been working on trying to put certain events together, but I have not had the time to do it. I'm doing a billion things and just have not had the time to put certain things together.
Content, but they don't have. I mean, well, now you have YouTube. You have YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff.
I don't have the YouTube. I've used the YouTube channel one time and have not done it again because they've changed. So I need to learn how to use it again.
YouTube is really
Okay.
Would you encourage a YouTube channel on Facebook Live?
But because the whole thing
people go on YouTube to get some content,
Okay.
yeah.
and to find new shows. Here we don't have time. Yeah.
And what I was gonna say is,
I would suggest a YouTube channel. I mean, I know you like Facebook Live.
but they can put those
Facebook,
Facebook Live
yeah,
videos on.
I can upload them onto
Yes,
YouTube?
you can put those
Okay.
Facebook Live videos on
And they
YouTube.
can
That's
help
what I was
people.
gonna say. So you
Then that's what I'll
Facebook
do.
Live is for in the moment of.
That's what I say all the time. It's just like a moment.
I just happen to be doing this, or guys, I'm recording. Let's say you're recording your internet radio, but today we have a special guest right here. You want to tune in? It's going to be uploaded in by the end of the day. But this is the guest, so you're promoting your YouTube through your Facebook Live.
But you know what? And you are right. But also, you could take your YouTube channel. Tell me if I'm wrong. Come in the studio like you ain't on the air, but you know what I'm saying? Like be professional about everything, like the whole set and all of that, right? On YouTube, and really put your show on YouTube.
That's what I could do. That makes sense.
Like I believe more in a YouTube kind of channel
than the Facebook Live.
Than a Facebook Live.
Okay,
I do too.
It's just a moment. I agree. But if you're serious about where you want to go, if you clearly know, I want to make this a TV show, I want to make this a radio show, I think you could put a show together on. And
it's so funny because
and people get discovered on that YouTube channel.
Do you know that years ago, when I lived in Dallas, I had a format together in Dallas, like this whole setup, segments and everything. And because of fear, then I was offered to do a TV show to bring it was called the T-Spot, to bring the T-Spot to NBC. And I turned it down.
Over fear?
My girlfriend's brother worked for NBC and said, and because I was,
she didn't get her new
and I said no. I said no. It did. It did, and you know it did.
She didn't have her new lace front done.
Don't be coming for my wig. What you're not gonna do is come for my head. You see how he stays coming for me? Don't come for my wig.
Her new lace front wasn't done. She was like, I'm not being on TV without
but not for nothing.
Nope, but I didn't want
There
TV.
was so many. You know how long before Miss Beasley texted me and I was like, I hope she said I can't come on when she rescheduled because I was like, I don't know. But it really comes down to
Wait, as a matter of fact, I want her to just quickly tell everybody what you're doing.
Okay.
Go get on one of those mics right there on my next break. Because I'm in the studio with all these young people talking about all these great things.
So what are you going to ask me or are you going to prompt me? I don't know.
You can actually sit down the mic.
Because I might put you on the mic. Okay. Gabrielle, am I saying your last name right?
Alford. Yes.
You need to share.
No.
Where you from?
Oh, you don't have to share? Westbury.
No, you need to stay like that. Exercise your muscles.
You don't want that?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to get a YouTube thing.
No. I should have sipped it with you. Let's try to sip my purse.
Let me just slide. Thank you.
Sometimes I wish I would love to give people, I love to give people platform.
We need people like you.
Yeah, but that,
and that's a blessing.
Because I think that y'all have something.
I don't hear anything.
Share that everybody, not people your age, not just people your age, because even not qualified.
That's good. That's okay.
This is your knob right here. So
that's what I was going to say. I don't want to just
that's fine. Thank you.
Sometimes age makes people think that they're not qualified.
And I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum because I've been offered opportunities where people are always like, oh, you're so wise, you're so smart. Like I have people that 60 years old, 70 years old that call me.
God is going on.
Oh, God is.
Make sure that you're talking into the mic.
Okay.
That one. Yeah, you did that job. It might fall. Like even the arm, if you want it.
I'm like, look, I'm new to this. I don't know.
What we going into?
James Fortune, I Forgive Me.
Ooh, I like that.
See if you have one of those 5-cent clips that you bring in, you could do.
I left my stand in my truck.
You guys just tell me how I sound, because I can't hear.
And then headphones there. For you guys to hear.
I don't listen to myself.
Is that way you know if you're speaking too loud, so you still get it? It's loud?
No, it's loud. I hear it.
Oh, you got it.
Too loud?
No, it's fine.
Or if you sound ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound funny. That's all. I want to hear my voice. I do not want to.
Stand by.
Radio 103.9. Good Sunday morning to you. That was Dwayne Wood. What's what God is. God is my everything. I love him so much. I am surrounded in the studio with all these young people, and I'm just soaking it up. And I'm just so proud of listening to their conversation. And I'm soaking it all up, soaking it all in. And Lance is still with us. Tiffany is still with us. Gabrielle, she's joining us. Gabrielle.
Yes, Gabrielle. Yes,
Gabrielle Alford.
Yes.
All the way from Westbury. I got to meet this young lady March the 12th, right?
Yes, I believe around that time.
PFC. PFC in the house. And she told me about Not Quite Qualified. And I want you to share with my audience about Not Quite Qualified.
Yes, ma'am. So Not Quite Qualified is, it started off as a blog idea that eventually branched out into being a brand. So Not Quite Qualified pretty much just speaks to the millennial generation and any generation outside of that just always feels like society is always trying to put you in a box, and we don't deserve to be in a box. We are people that are qualified by God, and God qualifies us and gives us our power and our authority and everything that we can do. So instead of letting society place us in a box, we can just go back at them and tell them, well, you're saying that I'm not quite qualified to do something, and just, watch me work. Look at God move. So.
Brother Lance, Pastor Lance over there, what do you think
Right. Right.
about Not Quite Qualified?
Actually, just like we were talking about during the break, I mean, she touched on something that I've actually been saying for a while, and I mean, it feels good to hear, it coming from a young person, and especially a young woman in this generation, because far too many times we sit there and say, this generation this generation that. So when you have someone that's coming with good ideas, and it's not just good ideas, but they're also incorporating God in it by saying, we're qualified by God, not quantified as far as numbers, making masses, but we're qualified. That touches my heart. My oldest is 17 years old, so when I hear a young lady saying that, it's like, wow, you know what I mean? We think there's not hope, but it's not just hope. It's like, this is our future for tomorrow, so it makes me smile.
And Tiffany, I see you hear so much of making me matter and just Not Quite Qualified.
Right, because a lot of people literally discredit themselves based on what others deem as qualifications over their life. And if you take what somebody else says and you embed that in your spirit and you receive it, you will literally talk yourself out of your purpose and talk yourself out of your destiny.
And talk yourself out of your blessings.
And talk yourself out of your blessings. And at the end of the day, it comes with knowing who you are, knowing who God says about you, knowing that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, regardless of who says that you are not this, you are not that, you're not qualified for this position. Well, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Do you know how many jobs I've applied for that I wasn't qualified for? And I've applied by faith saying, okay, yeah, I'm not qualified, so to speak, by what you stand for, but I know the one who's qualified me, and I'm going to get it. And to God be the glory, God has always come through.
These young people, we're going to hear more from them, but we're going to continue to praise right now. Here's James Fortune and Fire, right here on Radio 103.9. Let's praise.
Yes.
Listen to you praise.
Yes. And then I brought me some scriptures just so I can reference them in case.
Look, be ye ready, okay?
Just in case they come up. Because a big one that was speaking to me that I was trying to remember was the floating axe head. And Elisha shows in 2 Kings. And pretty much what happens to a lot of people is we'll be working. And because in the scripture, the gentlemen are working. I can't remember exactly what they're building. I don't want to. But they're at the Jordan River pretty much. And they're building. And as they're working, one of the gentleman's axe heads flies off, and he's like, I don't know what happened. It was borrowed. Like I don't know what happened to it. And Elisha was pretty much like, go back to that place and show me where you lost it. And he retrieved it or whatever the situation might have been. But that's what happens to so much of us. We end up going in life, and at some point, and I think that happened to me. I had to realize, like, when did you lose that fight? Like, at what point did you decide for yourself, like, you didn't want to do this anymore? At what point did you decide people's opinions of you mattered? Like, at what point?
I think you're going to be talking a lot. Because you can talk. No, but you have something to say.
Yeah.
So I think that it's going to be more than what you think that you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I think you're going to be doing more than what you think.
I think so, too. God is already connecting me. I had a prophecy two years ago. It'll be 2 years ago in October when the lady called me out in the middle of the service because I was hiding from her. And I hid from her the last time that I had gone to church. And ended up sitting right in the choir, right next to the pastor. You can't hide, right? And that's when she stopped the whole service and she turned to me and she said, I hear God telling me about your blog. And she said, I see millions of people connected to you. So that's...
Speak that, evangelist.
So, It's not the first time I heard evangelism. Lord Jesus. I'm like, if it was up to me, I would hide under a rock.
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and the Lord really had to deal with me with this because everybody used to, the Lord calling you to preach. It's usually ones who don't want
to do it.
I'm being honest with you. The ones who don't want it, because usually the ones who don't want it is because they not doing it. They don't want to do it for their glory. The ones who usually want to do it are people who want to be glorified.
And it's because the people that don't want to do it also understand the magnitude of the call.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Too
much is given, much is required, and that's definitely it.
You understand the responsibility.
Each one of y'all gonna say something real quick as we end, so I want you to get something that you want to leave with the audience real quick. I'm just gonna
Ladies first.
Nah, y'all go first. I'm gonna be last.
Jason, I want you to say something so you're the last one.
About?
Something you want to say to the people that are listening. All right, guys? Everybody got something?
I
don't know why I want to say Al's point.
No, it's all right though.
Because I thought you put an S when you text me.
Oh, Alford. Oh, maybe I did. I don't know. I was at work trying to run back and forth, mess with these kids. I end up leaving with fluff all over me. For real. And it's worse because my hair is usually out like natural. Oh, please. I look like
I threw my daughter a party there.
Oh my God. Come to the one in Westbury. Come join Roosevelt Mall.
I still got the bear she has. And it says, "I love you, Daddy."
Aww.
And I play that over and over.
Yeah, so, I love it. I love it in there.
It's my heart.
I like messing with the kids. They're really sweet. Because the kids are our future. So it's
yeah. That's why you got to pour into them. Yeah. Positive stuff in them.
I have 2 kids. I call them my kids now. But
I know you got to put them.
I did.
No. I need a husband.
Yeah, like let me know.
But I babysit them. So 10 and 11
Candid,
and
be ready.
Best form of birth control. They are.
That's funny, yo. I heard you.
They're best form of birth control. Them 2 kids. But I love them. And the other side about it is I've realized. Because, like I was saying, the little boy told me, like, the only person that cares about me is a slave. He tried to give me the whole story, but it touched me because I'm the only person that cares about you. That's what you just told me. So it's like, you don't realize how, because I want to have a life. I want to go to the movies. I want to find a boyfriend, like something, but I'm with y'all all day. Where's your mother? Like, I didn't give birth to you. But at the end of the day, I'm the only person that stops.
Don't find them.
Yeah, I'm the only person that stops and is like, all right, we're going to do this home. I sat down with this boy for 3 hours trying to figure out math homework with him one night. Like, this is the kind of stuff. I take them to, he has no school, stuff like that. He'll end up getting himself, because he's slick. He'll get himself out of school. His mom can't stay home with him, so he's with me for the day. So I take him out to breakfast. We'll go hang out. We'll go do my errands and stuff like that. I take him with me. And that's, but the other side about it is the kid that I started with in February is not the kid that I'm dealing with at the end of April. Like, at all. They're too complete. And even his little sister said it to me, like, you changed, Sheldon. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? So when little kids are telling you all this stuff, and it's just like, okay. Like, I guess I'm operating my purpose. I mean, I feel it all the time, but anytime I feel like giving up, I always get a sign, like,
you're doing the right thing.
So that's why I'm just trying to. But it's so important to sow into these kids because you don't realize, us as adults don't realize how much kids absorb.
They're sponges. That's why I can't. People like tell me I'm too strict because my kids couldn't watch SpongeBob growing up. They couldn't watch certain things.
Everything.
And I'm like, yo, subliminal messages like are everywhere.
Even the energy that you transfer, how you speak to your child, what you tell your child to do, you just everything.
And yeah, I was gonna say when you think they're not listening,
everything.
Yeah,
they watch everything.
They do.
Everything, and it didn't hit me until I with these 10 and 11 years. I was like, oh, I gotta watch myself.
It's true. Funniest thing, my nephew, my mother doesn't curse at all. So my mother was yelling at somebody because they cut off, and she was like, "You dumb bunny." So that's her way of cursing. So she lives in Colonia. So she's from Florida originally, but she lives in North. So my nephew's in the car, and they driving, and my mother's like, "Good gosh," and my nephew's like, "Dumb bunny." I'm like, yo, you gotta watch what you say.
Around these kids.
Yep, exactly.
Even little things that you do, like because the little boy, his father's not around. He came downstairs trying to go to Bible study with me because I take him to Bible study. Because this is what I do on Wednesday, so this is what y'all do on Wednesday.
Raise him up right.
Raise him up right.
So this little boy
They
came
don't have to be yours to do
No,
it.
Absolutely
Wait,
right.
He come downstairs with this purse, talking about he ready to go. I said, you ready to go where? With who? Me? With this purse? I said, no. I said, this is what we go. He said, I'm ready to go. Like this.
Yeah.
I said, I said, shoulder no. I said, not with me. You could deal with your mother with that, but I said, with me, we're not. I said, I'll find you a man bag or a backpack.
Or a backpack.
Like, because those look like the messenger bags.
Right.
I said, I get you one of those. But I said, this purse. He said, I don't care. Nobody gotta know it's a purse, but whatever he was saying, this is my bag. And I was like, that's a purse. That's a purse. Like,
Don't matter which way you color it.
No, it's a purse. You ain't walking out. I said, you'll thank me later. Like, you will thank me later when nobody's making fun of you for walking around with this purse.
Right.
Please. Like, but this is, and this is how I talk to him. Like, real stuff. We ain't gonna
You
do
have
this.
to.
This is how we ain't
You
gonna
have
do this.
to.
I'm not gonna be, oh, like, can you please?
It's the same way I am with my daughters. Like, yo, no, listen.
And I always look at him, and he's on ADHD medication. He's on those things, the pills, and he's always like, and I realized it's taking a toll on him mentally, because he's like, I'm not crazy. I'm not, because I was yelling at him when they
She's a sweetheart.
and all he wanted to do was
she's sweet.
read, he wanted to read some Five Nights at Freddy, them video games. Now he want to read this book. I said, no. So I start yelling or whatever. He's like, I'm not crazy. Because I was like, you know what your problem is? He said, so before I can get to say whatever I was going to say, he thought I was going to call him crazy. I looked at him. I said, you ain't crazy. Ain't nothing crazy about you. I said, it's these stupid video games that you always want to watch. And I said, then you want to play like you stupid. You ain't stupid. He's such a bright little boy. You just want to walk around like Boo Boo the Fool because you don't want to do what other people want you to do.
Or so many people have told him that he's crazy or want to stick him on a medication that he, you know, like you said, sometimes, man, you hear it so much you start to believe it.
Yeah,
you know?
but he will not. He's not taking that in.
Good.
He won't take it in.
Good.
He'll fight you. That's why he's like that. He's fighting it. But I have to sit down and tell him all the time. You have to understand how and what you're fighting. You ain't gonna just buck up on me because I will burn you. I will let you on fight. I told him the other day because he always mess. He's always mess. He will take a bat, and I don't follow him up. People get a fit. You ain't gonna move me. But he's one of these people. He'll take a bat and be like this over my head.
No.
Oh, he'll do it. I don't react though. He's looking for reactions. I'm not reacting to you. I'll give him a death stare like this.
Like, try it.
You understand that if this bat drops, it's me and you, right? Because
You understand if this bat drops, you drop.
Yeah, okay. Then you understand that, right? Then so I don't react. His mother's always like, But what I realize now too is his mother will be yelling at him, oh, do this. And I'll get so frustrated from his mother talking so much, I'll turn around and be like, listen, this is what you're going to do. He'll be like, okay. So I have an easier time with him than his mother does. So
but that's how it normally happens with kids anyway. You know what I'm saying? Most kids do. I have 13 godchildren, and my kids literally have the relationship I have with them. They have a great relationship with their parents, but there's just certain things that they're going to respond to me differently than.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna tell you this because it took us a while to get here. Because when I first started to try to get this boy to do homework, because he got this anger thing where he thinks that if I'm angry, they gonna respect it. I was raised in a house where you think you gonna buck up at me, you gonna get me down.
Right.
Okay. So he threw the Xbox controller. It whizzed past my face like this. I had to stare at the wall for a little bit because I almost jumped. Like, you know. And I just looked at him. And once he seen that I didn't react the way his mother did, he was like, okay, this is a different thing.
Right. And he didn't know how to take you. He didn't know what you were going to do. He was like, oh, shoot. See, my mother's predictable. I don't know what's about to happen.
Because I will unplug everything.
Yeah.
I will take everything out the wall.
Yeah.
And I will let your mother know I did it. I will wait for her till she get home. And I will hand it to her.
Right. I understand that.
Like, that's...
Right.
And I told my dad, because my dad was like, oh, I told him blah, blah, blah. And I looked at him, I was like, oh, you better than me. Because I said, I don't give him no leeway. And I'm not your mother. I'm not a parent. But there's just certain things I don't have the energy for.
I'm like that. I can't.
I don't do it. We will have a good day. I play all day. We will have a good time. But there's certain things that really, this is what we're going to do today?
Right. Right. No, this is what we not going to do
He
today.
already know. Once I say, give me the phone, he be...
No, you're a softie. Stop trying to fake.
No, because you know what?
No, I am too. I have
I'm a disciplinary.
No,
I'm
I
not
will take the phone up front. I'm ready to give me a phone. You go sit in your room, cry. I had him sitting in his room crying for 2 hours before, and I felt bad.
But your daughters, they're good girls. They are. They
I 4.5.
Why you think they're good girls?
Because you don't take no messing. When I tell you, he is like a sergeant, and the thing is, those girls know it. They know it. He's not caught up in, I don't care how cute you are. I don't care what you think you can have and yada, yada, yada. At the end of the day, I respect how he handles his kids. And I sit back and just watch.
Usually.
Like, oh, okay.
So people ever try to call you Gabby for short?
Absolutely, all the time. Gabs, Gabba, yo, Gabba, Gabba. That's what my kids call me.
Yo, Gabba, Gabba.
Yo, Gabba, Gabba. My little babies call me.
If I went to
Gabba,
college with you on campus, I would have done that way across the campus. Yo, Gabba, Gabba.
No, all the time. All the time. I was always that person, like, when I was in college, I wasn't as outgoing as I was in high school. But high school, I ended up going to a new school, 9th grade. And
I was going to ask you to at Temple. I was going to be like, you know the cues at Temple?
Listen. I was Miss 10th grade, and then I was class.
All right.
All right.
Who is it?
Smokey Norfolk. Still say thank you.
I ain't waving. I'll figure it out.
Seconds. Live mic. We're good.
Thank you.
And I thank him. And what a wonderful way to end this show today. Just giving him all the praise and all the glory and thanking him. Not because of all the things that he's done, but because of who he is. Amen. Amen. Well, I want to thank you all. I'm so glad that we had this time together. You know that I love you, love you, love you for listening. I want to thank my She Speaks guest, Miss Tiffany Barker from Making You Matters. Also want to thank Rodina Stevens from Greater Allen Church. She is the communications director there. She called in to talk about the Women's Retreat. I promise you, if you're not registered, you want to make your way out there to Stamford, Connecticut, May 4th to the 6th. It is 3 days of workshops and worship, and it is a blessing. I have been blessed by these retreats year after year. So you can register by going to gacwomen.org, and you don't want to miss it. It will change your life for real, for real. Well, all morning long, I believe I've been giving millennials a voice today. And I've met some wonderful people, been surrounded by, and I just love young people. I do. And
We love you.
God's going to give me
Amen.
the ability to give young people a platform, because young people, we need to listen to them. We need to hear their voice, and they have things to say, and they are a blessing to us, and we can learn from them. So today I'm going to end my show with these 4 millennials in the studio. Who wants to start? Come on, you're going to say something to my audience before you leave. Lance, why don't you start in case Lance?
If I could say anything, I would say to our younger people, despite what you've been through, despite what you're going through, you know, put and trust in God and everything. The word says, trust in the Lord with all our heart, lean out on our understanding, and all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct our paths. You got to be around people who are of similar ideas and like attainments, and with that, when you learn to work together and learn to put yourself first and allow your steps to be guided, I don't think there's anything that you can't do.
So I want to say real quick that everybody listening, you guys matter. There's going to be a season. There's a season and a time for everything. And there's going to be times when you feel like you're irrelevant, where you feel inadequate, and you'll feel like life isn't worth living. At the end of the day, regardless of what the masses say about you, you have a master that sees more in you than what other people see. Be encouraged and know that regardless what it is that people say, you have a God to answer to. Regardless what it is that comes your way from the left to the right and what's behind you, just keep looking ahead and pursuing after the things that God has told you to go after.
Amen. All right, everybody. I just want to read to you Isaiah 54:17, which says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me." With that being said, I want you all to remember that you define who you are with God who has qualified you. So don't forget, don't let society tell you who you are and what you are able to do. Don't let anybody tell you what you are not qualified to do. Again, God calls the qualifier, so we are in his authority, we have his power, and we are destined to do great and powerful things. So let's just do this.
And, to close out everybody made great points. And when I think about my own path, especially as of late, a lot of times we pray to God, or we pray to God for him to show us the path to our own abundance and the path to our own blessings. A lot of times we pray for him to act on our behalf before we act. Mm-hmm. And lately I've been thinking that he's been telling me the opposite, that I have to act first, and then he will act on my behalf to show me how serious that I am about what it is I pray for. Mm-hmm. So my story to you is just take the first step sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Take the first step, and he got you steps to infinity. So with that being said, I'm going to close out as Toya Beasley always says, and saying, I love you, but God, he loves you so much more. Grace and peace.
Amen.
That's
right. It's the gospel Donnie Simpson.
How you ended was really good. God is saying that to you, Jason.
It was.
It really was good. Yeah.
Stop moving. Let's go.
Let's go. That's what he wants from you. And he will show himself. He will show himself. He is making.
Look, and you telling me I'm going down south? I knew that. I was trying to go.
You said what?
I keep hearing Virginia.
So what is that? That's confirmation.
Oh my goodness.
Because
Virginia.
so let me share this with you, and I'm being really honest. Like, I have a very weird gift.
Right.
I always do.
I've been fighting my gift.
And the thing is, I never understood it, and I'm still learning it. But every time I tell her or anybody else something, because I'm not gonna say it's prophecy. I don't know.
You
but
Right.
every time
Call it for what it is.
Call it for what it is.
all right, listen.
Speak those things that are not as
though
That hit your hair. It's like,
I can't stand you. That's coming
you
from my
will get
weed.
new growth.
When I say I can't, y'all better stop letting him come for me.
In the name of Jesus, you will get new growth. I'm prophesizing it right now. You drop a little of this and boom, the lace front will grow.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him. Tell him to
Did y'all have a good time?
Yes,
come
we
my
did.
way. I did. Come on, let's say goodbye, everybody. Facebook Live.
Come on,
Jason.
Facebook Live. We are making us matter.
Yes, we are.
Each one of us. And making you matter.
And it's great that Sister Tiffany finally got an iPhone, so now she can work it.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So we're not only making us matter, we're making you matter.
Right.
Amen.
We're making you mad.
Thank you for
And
joining
thank you to
us.
Miss Toya.
Yes, big shout out, Miss Toya.
Radio
Listen,
103.9.
You're going to be hearing more from these millennials. They blessed me today, and I know they blessed you.
And she blessed us with this
She sure
platform,
did.
this
She sure did.
opportunity.
Oh, Miss Toya, you look fabulous. It's okay. You look good.
That's all right.
Listen, yes.
You look
I
good.
want to be on there.
I'm trying to stretch this arm.
I don't really want to be on
Oh,
that.
thank you.
All right, so we can take it so we can see guys.
And he's tall. He's tall and work.
Because he's tall, yeah, so you can see everybody now. We got the light going.
That's what he's tall though. Because look,
Get the 103, get the 103.
see, if we were struggling with the short arms, we
She was trying so bad.
Trying to put the phone over in the tip. I'm like, wait a minute.
And then there's a little bit of me, you know what I mean? This is my moment. Can I get my shot now?
Hello, this is hello.
All right, y'all, that's it. We about to be out.
Peace.
Have
You know
a
what I'm saying?
wonderful
Like I said,
Sunday.
I've
God
always had
bless
this
you.
great gift. Like a lot of times I'll dream it, and I'm